Patch 13.19 is out today, and here are the 5 comps that you want to play in this meta to make sure like you gain as much LP as possible. By the way, I'm Felipe, I've been challenger multiple times in Set 9 and also previous set, so here are my top 5 comps that I want to share with you. As usual, I'm going to use Tacter, where I wrote the guide where you can find a free version in written format in case you prefer to read rather than to watch my video again. You have the link in the description, it's completely free, it's the sponsor of my channel as well. So the first comp I want to talk about is 6 Ionia Xayah, and obviously this is the best if you have an Ionian emblem, because honestly like this comp has been buffed in many ways. Xayah is buffed, Darius is buffed, Jhin is buffed, Vanquisher is buffed. So honestly like I don't see this comp not being one of the strongest, because in patch 13.18b this comp was already good if you had the Ionia emblem. So I do expect this comp to be extremely powerful during this patch. The way you want to build Xayah is with full AD or damage amplification like Giant Slayer or Guard Breaker. You don't want to have things like Ginzu or rapid fire cannon. You really want her to have as much AD as possible so she can kill the front line kind of easily whenever she casts, and now she'll cast a lot because she lost a lot of max mana. That's why she received the buff. On the other hand, you want to use Nila as your side carry slash cleaner. She's going to be here to clean up the targets that are low health that took the feathers from the Xayah. In case you don't have this comp because you can't have the Ionia emblem, I suggest you to not necessarily play 6 Ionia and rather just play with 3 Ionia with Jhin, Xayah, and the frontline either Set or Shen, and you play with more Juggernauts if you play around Set, or more Bastion unit if you play around Shen, to make sure you have a solid frontline so Xayah has the time to deal the damage that you need to clean up the fights. And then the next comp, you already know it, is 4 challengers. As you know, this comp was already very strong, if not the strongest comp of the last patch, and they didn't really touch this comp, so I do expect this comp to be still very strong in next patch. So obviously the one you want to play is around Fiora and Khai. You want to have only 2 items on Fiora because she will receive the Radiant Sterak from Demacia, and you pretty much want 3 combat augments. By 3 combat augments, mentioning things like Gifts from the Fallen, healing orbs, gotta go fast, tons of stats. You clearly don't want a challenger crest, you clearly don't want a challenger heart or stuff like this. You clearly don't want an icon augment because you really want to have as many combat augments to make it feel like Fiora has 4 or 5 items and same KSI basically. The next comp is comp that I'm really scared of, and the reason is because they adding a new interaction on Rek'Sai where she will mark her target, and if she attacks that target again with her spell, the mark will disappear and she will deal true damage. And what I'm afraid of is like this is an addition to what she already has. She already has true damage if she targets a unit with less than 66% health, and I'm not 100% sure if it's an addition to this or they remove the 6% threshold and they add a new one. If it's an addition, I expect Rek'Sai to be one of the most broken units we ever see in TFT. If it's replacing, then it's fine, but either way I think this change is going to make Rek'Sai 3 much more reliable, because it will be easier to find Rek'Sai 3 because you'll be stabilized with the board with Rek'Sai 2. Obviously the one you want to play is with 6 layers because it amplifies all the damage and it makes Rek'Sai even stronger because the amplification of the damage counts to her execution, so this is really important. On the other hand, I really like to play with Queen as an enabler and also a side carry because she will hold the last whisper, making that Rek'Sai will be less stuck on the tank, but also she will add a 10% amplification damage when she uses her ability, so Rek'Sai will have even more damage on the target, and that's pretty much it. The next comp I want to talk about is Samira reroll. Okay, so this comp you already know it, I made a video about it, and it has been trending in patch 13.18b, and since it didn't receive any nerf, in fact some other comps got nerfed like Jinx and Cho'Gath, I do expect this comp to be actually one of the strongest reroll comp of the next patch for the 1 cost at least. So the way you want to play it is rerolling Samira and also Cassiopeia, but Cassiopeia is not that mandatory since you won't put items on her, but if you have it, it's a nice bonus damage on your team. But the way you want to play it is to reroll Samira at level 4 and 5 until you have Samira 3. If during your slow roll you find a lot of Naafiri and Swain, then you will try to reroll them at level 6, and if not, then you just rush your level, go level 8, try to find Aatrox and all the Noxus units that you need in order to have 7 Noxus. Obviously, if you have a spatula, an emblem, it's even better because you can reach 7 Noxus much before. Because honestly, I'm going to say with the next comp, 7 Noxus gives a lot of stats and it's really strong, but most of the time it's strong only if you have a Noxus emblem, because you can create a side carry. So let's talk about the last comp I want to show you. It's 7 Noxus, and it's kind of similar to Ionia. It's much better if you have an emblem, because that way you can obviously play around Mordekaiser, because this is going to be your main carry. But Mordekaiser is not strong enough to clear a board of 8 units by himself. He needs a side carry who can help him finish targets, and one of the best side carry is Fiora, because she just fits perfectly. You have Challenger, and she loves having more HP, more AD, and more AP, because by the way, in case you didn't know, she has a nice scaling on AP, allowing her to deal more true damage, and that's why actually Fiora is an excellent side carry. It can work as well with Nilah, because obviously you have Vanquisher thanks to Darius, so that way Nilah can still deal a good amount of damage thanks to Vanquisher, and also she will love having more stats, because she's a melee character, so they need to have more stats like HP and also a good amount of damage, otherwise they're useless. In case you didn't know, I run a private Discord where I shared actually the top 5 comps and a couple more things I wanted to say to the people in the private Discord. And if you're interested in getting ahead of the meta and having access to all the special tips and tricks I share before making videos, before making TikToks and shorts, you can join this private Discord by subscribing to a tier 2 or above membership on my YouTube channel. This also helps me to fund everything I'm doing on YouTube, like paying the editor, paying all the tools I'm using, but also it helps me to fund my trip to Las Vegas, where I'm going to compete there against the best players of the world and hopefully bring back the trophy at home. And if you're not interested in that, it's fine. I still have a free weekly newsletter I send obviously every week, just as I said, where I share all the 5 comps I think that you should focus on if you want to climb fast. It's completely free. The link will be in the description. That way you can stay up to the meta without spending any money. Until next video, see you at the top of the ladder.